Good afternoon. Today I am going to start a history chapter, Nationalism in India. Nationalism that got freedom, unity. Now here I start. As you have seen, modern nationalism in Europe. There was a modern nationalism in Europe, it started, came to be associated with the formation of the nation states. It also meant a change in the people's understanding of who they were and what defined their identity and sense of belonging. The people, they were thinking how this nationalism started in Europe, what was their thinking. New symbols and icons started, new songs and ideas forged new links and redefined the boundaries of the communities. In most of the countries, the making of this new national identity was a long process. Many of the country, not only Europe, many of the country, they were waiting for the nationalism. How did this consciousness emerge in India? Now the question, how this nationalism started in India. In India, as in Vietnam and many other colonies, the growth of the modern nationalism is intimately connected to the anti-colonial movement. People began discovering their unity in the process of their struggle with colonialism. That time they started when there were the colonialism in our country. The India started with the nationalism. The sense of being oppressed under colonialism provided a sheer bond and tied many different groups together. Now in the nationalism, how India also started with to bring the unity among all the community. But each class and group felt the effects of the colonialism differently. Their experiences were varied and their notion of the freedom were not always the same. The Congress under Mahatma Gandhi. Now that time there was a Congress party. The Congress party, Mahatma Gandhi, tried to forge these groups together within one movement, but the unity did not emerge without conflict. There was a unity, and the Congress party was there, and they wanted to bring the unity. So Gandhiji had involved in this nationalism, and not this nationalism was not achieved without a conflict. In an earlier textbook, you have read about the growth of nationalism in India up to the first decade of the 20th century. In this chapter, we will pick up the story from the 1920s and study the non-cooperation and civil disobedience movement. The nationalism started with non-cooperation and civil disobedience movement. We will explore how the Congress sought to develop the national movement, how Congress has started with the national movement, how different social groups participated in this movement, and how nationalism captured the imagination of the people. So like this way, the Congress party had started to bring the nationalism, and in this Mahatma Gandhi had played a great role. The First World War, Khilafat and non-cooperation. In the years after 1990, we see the national movement spreading to new areas, incorporating new social groups and developing a new models of struggle. So many communities, so many groups of society people, how they joined together and they started to bring the nationalism. First of all, the war created a new economic and political situation. There was a war in that time, and it tried to bring the society in economic and the political situation. It led to a huge increase in defense expenditure, which was financed by the war loans and increasing taxes. So that time there was a loan also, that time there was a taxes also, it was increasing. Custom duties were raised and income tax introduced. Through the war years, prices increased, doubling between 1913 and 1918, leading to extreme hardship for the common people. Villages were called upon to supply the soldiers. Now that time soldiers were less, so villages were asked to supply the soldiers, and the forced recruitment in rural areas caused widespread anger. Then in 1918 to 1990, and 1920 to 21, crops failed in many parts. That time when that war was there, colonialism was there, that time the crops failed in many parts of India, resulting in acute shortage of food. When the crops failed, there was a lot of shortages in the food. This was accompanied by an influenza epidemic. So epidemic started, as you know, the shortage of the food. According to the census of 1921, 12 and 13 million people perished. They died as a result of the famine and the epidemic. So that time when the war was there, that time there were famine also and epidemic. People suffered and some of the people they died. People hoped their hardship would end after the war was over. People they were thinking how when the war will over, how they will work. But that did not happen. At this stage, a new leader appeared and suggested a new mode of struggle. So that time, new leader came and they suggested their new ways of the struggle. Now the idea of Satyagraha. Mahatma Gandhi. Satyagraha is related with the Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi returned to India in January 1915. As you know, he had come from the South Africa where he had successfully fought the racist regime with the novel method of mass agitation which he called Satyagraha. When he came back from the South Africa, he started his new movement to bring the unity, to bring all communities and society together. So here he had named that movement as a Satyagraha. The idea of Satyagraha emphasized the power of the truth. So the main aim of Satyagraha was to bring the truth and the need to search a truth. It suggested that if the cause was true, if the struggle was against injustice, then physical force was not necessary to fight the oppressor. Without seeking vengeance or being aggressive, a Satyagrahi could win the battle through the non-violence. Mahatma Gandhi, he said that Satyagraha, the truth can be brought without the non-violence. Now, this could be done by the appealing to the conscience of the oppressor. People, including the oppressor, had to persuade it to see the truth instead of being forced to accept truth through the use of violence. People they started all they by this struggle, truth was bound to ultimately triumph. So that time, truth reached to its climax. Mahatma Gandhi believed that dharma of non-violence could unite all Indians. Mahatma Gandhi believed that all dharmas without this non-violence could unite all the Indians. After arriving in India, Mahatma Gandhi successfully organized Satyagraha movements in various places. When he returned to India, Mahatma Gandhi started a Satyagraha movement, as you know, Satyagraha movement to bring the truth. In various places he started. In 1916, he traveled to Champaran. The first in this Satyagraha, first he went to Bihar, a Champaran place where there was, and in Champaran in Bihar to inspire the peasants to struggle. He inspired the peasants to struggle against the oppressive plantation system. That time peasants, farmers were doing the plantation system. There in 1917, he organized Satyagraha to support the peasants of Kheda district. Then again another side Satyagraha started in the Kheda district in Gujarat, affected by crop failure and plague epidemic. That area was already crop failure was there, plague was there, and the peasants of Kheda could not pay the revenue. That time they were not able to pay the taxes and were demanding that revenue collection be relaxed. In 1918, Mahatma Gandhi went to Ahmedabad, now the third place. Ahmedabad, he went to Ahmedabad to organize a Satyagraha movement amongst all the cotton workers. So you have read Satyagraha first started where? In Champaran, Bihar, second Kheda district in Gujarat he started, and third he started in Ahmedabad to the cotton mills with the cotton mills workers. The Rowlatt Act, next movement, emboldened with this success, Gandhiji in 1990 decided to launch a nationwide Satyagraha. Now in all, he started his Satyagraha to bring the whole country against the proposed Rowlatt Act. Now this act had hurriedly passed through the Imperial Legislative Council despite the united opposition of the Indian members. It gave the government enormous powers to repress political activities and allowed detention of the political prisoners without trial for 2 years. Mahatma Gandhi wanted non-violence. He always believed in the non-violence, civil disobedience against such unjust law, which would start with a hartal. Hartal means strike on 6th April. Rallies were organized. Now the new movement, along with this new movement, Mahatma Gandhi time, what they did, rallies were organized. Rallies, as you know, all together in a rally, they assembled and their rally started. Rallies were organized in various cities. Workers went to strike in railway workshop and shops closed down. Everywhere the shops were closed down and the strikers, they went for the strike. Alarmed by the popular upsurge and the scare that lines of communication such as the railways and the telegraph would be disrupted, the British administration decided to clamp down all the nationalists. Now Britishers, they were totally against. They tried to capture the all nationalists. Local leaders were picked up from the Amritsar and the Mahatma Gandhi was barred from entering Delhi. All the local leaders were picked from the Amritsar, and Mahatma Gandhi, he was not allowed to enter in Delhi on 10th April. Now this incident is very important. On 10th April, the police in Amritsar, they fired upon a peaceful procession, provoking widespread attack on the banks, post offices and railway station. Martial law was imposed and General Dyer took commanded. So that time in Jallianwala Bagh, it is in Amritsar. That time, how the Britishers, what they did, the General Dyer was there and he commanded that he tried to capture. On 13, now one incident took place in Jallianwala Bagh. On 13th April, infamous Jallianwala Bagh incident took place. On the day, a large crowd gathered in the enclosed ground of Jallianwala Bagh. Number of more than thousands of people, they gathered together in one place and the meeting was going on. Some came to protest against the government's new oppressive. Some people, they were against, so they were sitting there. Others had come to attend the annual Baisakhi fair. As you know, some of the people, they assembled there just to attend the Baisakhi fair. Fair means Mela. Baisakhi fair. Being from outside the city, many villagers were unaware of the martial law that had been imposed. Now Dyer entered the area. General Dyer, he entered the area, blocked all the points and opened a fire on the crowd, killing more than hundreds of people. Then his object, as to declare later, was to produce a moral effect, to create in the minds of satyagrahis a feeling of terror and awe. So General Dyer, he was not liking all the nationalists. He wanted to produce a moral effect among all the satyagrahis. As the new Jallianwala Bagh spread, crowds took to the streets in many northern Indian towns. There were strikes, clashes with the police and attacks on government buildings. So many things took place. The government responded with brutal repression, seeking to humiliate and terrorize people. Satyagrahis were forced to rub their now colonial people. What they did, the Britishers, they asked Satyagrahis to rub their noses on the ground, crawl on the streets and do salute to all the sahibs. Sahibs here means those English people. People were flogged and villages were bombed. All the villages were destroyed. Seeing violence spread, Mahatma Gandhi called off the movement. Now that time when the violence, the people were dying, people were killing satyagrahis, Mahatma Gandhi called off. He stopped this movement. While the Rowlatt Satyagraha had been a widespread movement, it was still limited mostly to the cities and towns. Mahatma Gandhi now felt the need to launch a more broad-based movement in India, but was certain that no such movement could be organized without bringing the Hindu Muslims closer. Mahatma Gandhi's his main aim was to bring Hindu and Muslim together, then without violence. One way of doing this, he felt was to take up the Khilafat issue. Now, another movement he wanted to start Khilafat. The First World War had ended with the defeat of Ottoman Turkey. That time, Ottoman Turkey was there, and he wanted to finish the First World War. And there were rumors that a harsh peace treaty was going to be imposed on the Ottoman Emperor, the spiritual head of Islamic world, that was Khalifa. This spiritual head was there from the Islamic world. He was known as a Khalifa. To defend the Khalifa's temporal power, a Khilafat movement was formed. From Khilafat movement was formed in Bombay in March 1919. This sentence you have to underline. A young generation of Muslim leaders, like the brothers were there from Muslim side, Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali, began discussing with Mahatma Gandhi about the possibility of a united mass action on the issue. Two brothers from the Muslim community, they were Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali. They talked with the Mahatma Gandhi and they tried to bring the unity. Gandhiji saw this is an opportunity to bring the Muslims under the umbrella of a unified national movement. At Calcutta session of the Congress in September 1920, he convinced other leaders of the need to start a non-cooperation movement in support of Khilafat as well as for the Swaraj. So here the Congress, that time there was a party, very old party was there, Congress, and they tried to, with the new movement, non-cooperation, they support the Khilafat as well as for the Swaraj. Why non-cooperation? Now new movement started. Why non-cooperation? In the famous book, Mahatma Gandhi's famous book was there, Hind Swaraj, written in 1909, declared the British rule was established in India with the cooperation of Indians and had survived only because of the cooperation. If Indians refused to cooperate, British rule in India would collapse within a year and Swaraj would come. So this was all written in that book. How could non-cooperation become a movement? Gandhiji proposed that the movement should unfold in stages. It should begin with the surrender of the titles that the government awarded and a boycott of the civil services. So in that non-cooperation movement, everything had to boycott, whatever the Britishers they were using. Army also, police courts and legislative councils, repression. Then schools and foreign goods also. Mahatma Gandhi non-cooperation movement, he said that everything must be boycotted, foreign, whatever the Britishers they used to use. Then in case of the government use repression, a full civil disobedience campaign would be launched. Through the summer of 1920, Mahatma Gandhi and Shaukat Ali, they toured extensively, mobilizing popular support for the movement. So Mahatma Gandhi and Shaukat Ali, both together, they just tried to find how the unity must be brought. Many within the Congress were, however, concerned upon the proposal. They were reluctant to boycott and council elections scheduled for November 1920, and they feared that movement night led to popular violence. In months between the September and December, there was an intense tussle within the Congress. Now that time there was a lot of clashes in this party, Congress party. For a while, there seemed no meeting point between the supporters and the opponents of the movement. Finally, the Congress session at Nagpur in December, underline this sentence, finally the Congress session at Nagpur, it held in December 1920. A compromise was worked out and the non-cooperation program was adopted. Whatever there was a lot of strikes were going on, and the Indians, Mahatma Gandhi, he tried to show his movement, the non-cooperation movement in those days. So one Congress party was held in December 1920 in Nagpur. How did the movement unfold? Who participated in it? How did different social groups conceive the idea of non-cooperation? In a new words, in a box there are some new words like boycott. It is written to refusal to deal and associate with the people or participate in activities or buy and use things, usually a form of protest. So boycotting all the British goods. Tomorrow I will start second unit, 58 page, differing strands with the movement.